Welcome to Comply on the Fly with M3 and Karen B, your trusted resource for quick, reliable insights into employee benefits compliance. Each episode delivers clear answers to common compliance questions. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a seasoned listener, we're here every other week to make navigating compliance a little easier. Please note this podcast and the contents herein do not constitute legal advice. In all cases, employers should consult with their own legal counsel. Let's dive in.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen B. And the Comply on the Fly topic for today is a recap of the annual reporting requirements that were discussed in our most recent monthly webinar of May 2026. During our webinar, Alex did a great job of laying out in chronological order the required outside reporting requirements that plan sponsors have to governmental entities. This is based on a calendar year, but should be adjusted for any plan sponsors that may have different plan years in applicable situations. First, ACA reporting. This is applicable only if you have over 50 full-time and full-time equivalent employees or sponsor a self-funded health plan with less than 50 employees. This reporting is to the IRS and Forms 1094 and 1095C or B to show offers of coverage and affordability as required by the ACA and to show coverage for purposes of self-funded plans. The deadline to provide these forms to employees is March 2nd. However, recent guidance does allow you to post that the forms are available upon request. The big deadline is to report these forms to the IRS by March 31st of every year. Second, creditable, non-creditable coverage disclosure to CMS or the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services is due 60 days after your health plan renewal, so March 2nd for calendar year plans. This might seem familiar because you're required to report your creditable status to employees prior to October 15th every year. But because we are talking about your obligations to report to federal entities, we are referring to this disclosure, which must be done to CMS or the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Remember, it is within 60 days of renewal of your medical plan and requires you to provide basic information about your plan to CMS. Third, the RxDC or prescription drug data collection requirement, which is due by June 1st. This is for the prescription drug coverage provided under your health plan and applies whether you are fully insured or self-funded. If you are fully insured, your carrier may be doing this on your behalf, but many times they will send surveys to you for required information and have a due date for this information well before June 1st. Be sure you are meeting those deadlines or you may have to submit information on your own. If you are self-funded, there would need to be coordination with your TPA, third-party administrator, and PBM. Make sure you understand if you will be expected to file the information or if another entity will be doing it completely or partially on your behalf. Fourth, Form 5500 filing, and that deadline for calendar year plans is July 31st. If your ERISA plan year is not based on a calendar year, then your 5500s would be due 7 months after the end of that plan year. And remember, this is only a requirement for employers that are subject to ERISA. Fifth, ACA PCORI fees are due July 31st every year. If you have a self-funded plan, an HRA that is integrated with a fully insured plan, a retiree HRA, or an ICHRA or individual coverage HRA, then you will have to pay a dollar amount per covered life on those plans on IRS Form 720, which is essentially an excise tax return. We have more information on this requirement in our ACA guide and on m3ins.com. We will also be covering the requirements again in our June 2026 webinar. And finally, the gag clause attestation, which is required by December 31st of every year. This is required to ensure that there are no gag clauses, which are clauses that prohibit the sharing of information in health insurance contracts. Again, if you are fully insured, the carrier will be doing this on your behalf. But if you are self-funded, you may be required to complete the attestation. So again, good communication with your TPA and any other carve-out contractors is essential in understanding how this applies to you. And that is your Comply on the Fly topic for today. Thanks for tuning in.
For more employee benefits compliance insights from Karen B. and her team, please visit m3ins.com.